barbershop conversation. I gotta get the intro. Let's do this intro real
What?
quick. I said Malcolm alleged that some of Elijah's women were underage secretaries, and can you expound on that?
Yeah, well, I guess they were because they were there. I seen them. I seen them myself. It's all true. It's all true.
Good evening, messenger. You convinced us that you were the last messenger. How many other bastard children do you have?
At least 15. At least 15. So Malcolm X is lying. Muhammad Ali's wife is lying. Come on, man. Someone got to step up and just be honest with the past, man. Click the link below. 9 Wise, man. And I appreciate you guys in advance. All right. So I've been seeing what's been going on as it pertains to Canelo and how versus how let's say black boxers perceive Floyd. And I'm just going to name a few. Shakur Stevenson says they didn't even offer. Lorenzo Simpson basically paraphrased Floyd didn't show him the money. It was kind of cheap. What else? He kind of did some disrespectful stuff to Deontay Wilder, backhand compliment, then realized that it backfired. So now he wanted to train him. At the beginning of the Manny Pacquiao Earl Spence thing, he said that he would reach out to Earl, and I can almost guarantee you he didn't. I didn't talk to Earl about it, but I know he canceled 11 days before the fight. But if you wanted to be an asset, you would hit him at the top of the camp so he can at least attempt to implement it. The hot and cold relationship with Tank Davis, and the list goes on, and the unfulfilled potential that was in that gym. What the other, there's 2 people in particular that I know could have been world champions. I think Latondra Jones and I think Andrew Tabiti. And like the desert, it's a lot of dead potential in those deserts. And I think Latondra Jones and Andrew Tabiti are 2 to mention that I think that Tabiti could have regrouped at cruiserweight and then came back and been a world champion. And I think Latondra Jones, like Alicia Bumgardner yesterday, one fight makes her a star. And I think Latondra Jones could have done that versus Canelo, who has an open gym policy. All his Latino brothers. Hey, Virgil Ortiz, come train with my trainer. Hey, Oscar Valdez, come train with my trainer. Hey, and so on and so forth. Now we can get into the questions about how are they winning, but that's another video. But the fact that he has an open door policy and he nurtures them with honesty, and he nurtures them with the commitment, which Floyd did have a commitment to the sport, but Floyd didn't have the commitment to community, to character, to valor, and I haven't interviewed Canelo since the Cotto fight. I haven't had a word with him since then, so I don't know him. So I'm on the outside looking in. I have a more intrusive relationship with Floyd, and Floyd put money and materialism before that, and now you can see him becoming more and more distant with his contemporaries. And now that he's not fighting, he doesn't really have the pulse that he once had in terms of like interviews and stuff like that. I don't really see people chasing Floyd for an interview any longer, but the point of this video is not to bash Floyd. The point of this video is you still can be an asset to boxing. You still got a chance. You understand what I'm saying? You still got a chance. You still got a chance to come back. We're the same age. We're 44 years old. Well, we got at least another 40 left in us. You can come back and be a great asset to these black men and women in boxing, man, and commit to it. You know what I mean? Don't just talk about it. You know, like don't just name clout. You know, I think not that I think I know, and this is a challenge to Floyd. Now, I don't know if he gonna hear it or not, obviously not, but it's time. It's time for all of us. You know what I mean? All our men, man. Put those girls in the private chat, in the private inbox. That's cool. I'm with it. I'm a man too. Put that shit in a private box. Put that shit in a private group on your Instagram and your favorite text group. That don't need to be public any longer. You get 44, man. You don't want the world knowing what's going on in your bedroom at this point. You want people to really, really know how you raising your kids, man. They want to see you in the backyard fixing your son's jump shot. You know what I mean? Floyd, they really want to see you holding your grandson at this point. You know what I mean? We want to see you name your next business after your grandson. You know, like all these Birkin bags at 44 Birkin bags. That's a Devin Haney deal. You know what I mean? That's Devin Haney learning how to be matriculate himself to masculinity. You know what I mean? That's what the 20-something-year-old do. That's a Shakur Stevenson deal. You know, man, we really want to see you be a pillar. And that's the challenge, man. I don't respect just the money. I don't. I don't. I think that, and people gonna say, well, he's done a lot. He's done this. He's done that. But at the end of the day, you're gonna be judged on your public persona, and what you show us is what we have to judge you on, right? And I think, and learn from this, guys. I've been unfortunate to, how can I word this? To fuck it, man. To sleep with some of the most beautiful women in the world. Uh have dinner with some of the most beautiful people in the world. Um 20 20 to 25% of the people in my phone are pe- people that some people in America would run after to get in not interviews too, but pictures and stuff like that. And um that doesn't toot my horn at 44. It doesn't. It really don't, man. And this is coming from a man that really taught himself how to be a man. I didn't have a father, but I had great examples. I have great friends. I have a great business partner. I have so many great people in my life that I took things from at a very young age. Um, and I think it's just very, very important that we start passing these things down. It's very important that Floyd start passing his IQ down because he's not fighting anymore. And truth be told, he doesn't have the respect of the younger generation. They want his money, but they don't respect him. Canelo got abs. Next thing you know, Ryan Garcia got abs. Next thing you know, Oscar Valdez got abs. Next thing you know, Andy Ruiz losing 40 pounds. How they did it, I don't know. But the fact that they have a leader that's that's actually being the change that he want in other fighters. They're gonna have some answers. They're gonna have some questions to answer later on down the line, obviously. But the fact that he's honest with Ryan Garcia, you're underperforming, Ryan. Floyd basically asserts himself. You know, he needs to take a public speaking class too. While you're flying from here to Tokyo, you should take your public speaker on with you and learn how to give public speeches because everything always starts and ends in I. And when you're speaking on someone else, that's probably not a great pronoun to use. It should be you or we. Those would be the great pronouns, man. And I'll be the first to say, I don't get small in a room when there's other great men and women in there. I think that Floyd just need to be great, man. Floyd need to. I don't care, but the fact that I'm saying is, and the bigger message is all these young fighters, man. I see what Earl Spence is doing down in Texas. Burley Brooks, Mr. Martin, and he got another one too. Uh, that took an L. Rashidi, that's his name. Amari, something like that. Forgive me for not knowing his name, but I see what he's attempting to do in the midst of his budding boxing career. Uh, and there are other people too that are doing great things. I mean, Crawford, who does mentorship, has an open gym policy, but he's in Omaha. He's not like in a big city. You know what I mean? Like California, like Canelo, San Diego. You know, so it's a little bit different. You know, not many people are gonna. Well, you never know. Muhammad Ali had a training camp in Pennsylvania, and everybody was there. So I look at the Mayweather gym, and now that Floyd's not fighting, it's dead. There's no energy coming from that gym. You know, Badu Jack is in Dubai now with his manager, who I think has done a good job with Badu Jack. You know, I forget the man's name, but it appears to me on the outside looking in, he's done a really good job at protecting Badu Jack, you know, from Triller to now this to PBC. And um, you got Andrew Tabiti. I don't know where he's at, man. I think Andrew Tabiti should have, I think after that guy who beat him gone, I think he's the next phase. I think he could have been a world champion at cruiserweight. I think Latondra Jones could have had Alicia Bumgardner moment in her prime. Um, uh, you know, there are a host of others too that I may be drawing a blank on, you know, but I know some of us are admiring what Canelo is doing in the ring, and that's outstanding. But look at what he's doing outside the ring. On his card, he had one black fighter on this card, Darrell. Others, the other 8, it was 8 total on the pay-per-view. 7 of them were of Latino descent. He's not of the narrative. Oh, I gotta, man, if I fight a black guy, I gotta come out to a red, black, and green flag. He ain't thinking about that shit. He's not. Tank Davis wore his gloves, and Floyd Mayweather is a huge proponent of Grant. I mean, his impact. Tank Davis didn't say, I'm the Floyd Mayweather of the 135-pound division. He says, I'm the Canelo of the 135-pound division, or he's the Tank of the 168-pound division, because he wanted to be associated with him. And these are true. These are true facts. And I say this like humbly, like as humble as I can be, you know. you know, boy, you better come home. It's time to come home, because man, I just keep it boxing. Um, when you get 60, you're not going to have the respect. You're basically going to be um, a fighter that says, "Oh, you're rich, okay, yeah, you get in free," but no one respects you. You don't need those bodyguards any longer. Help them open up their own business, man. Tell them this is their last year. I'm gonna double pay you. I'm gonna pay you. Go open up your own business, man. It's time for you to become a friend of the people, an ally of the people, man. I don't see no. Deontay Wilder is the biggest star in boxing in my culture, right? My culture, in our culture. He doesn't walk around with bodyguards. although Chris is a lethal weapon, former police officer and does that, he doesn't walk around with no bodyguard. You know what I mean? You got to start touching the people for it. I say that respectfully. If you don't start touching the people when you turn 60, ain't no one going to be at your concert. You still got to tour. You still got to do speaking again. You're not fighting anymore. You know what I mean? You still got to do it. Look at all these artists. You still got to do it. So, um, yeah, man. So all these young fighters coming up, Shakur Stevenson, make sure you're doing that in Brick City. Devin Haney, I love what you're doing in the community, man. I love it. I saw Lorenzo Simpson doing stuff in the community. I love what y'all are doing. Um, Devin Haney in Dallas, Devin Haney in Texas. Dallas is Texas. And what's that? What the fuck is that? Las Vegas and San Francisco. Shout out to you and your dad, man. It's beautiful to see that in addition to, the bling bling that you're doing, the need, and I encourage all fighters. You know what I mean? Take time out for the people. Yeah, you might need a security guard every now and again. That's fair. Fight week, you might need a security guard because you don't want people touching you in this climate. I mean, you want to control the touching. I even told Deontay Wilder, I said, fight week, you touch too many people, man. Touch too many people. I seen him knock out I seen him knock Bermain. No. He had the flu one week. And the reason why I knew because Sean Porter was on the undercard, and that's when the Porters and I were cool. And he was next to take pictures. And I took picture of Sean Porter and Deontay Wilder. And I saw Deontay Wilder. I'm like, oh, this nigga's sick. And then come to find out he had the flu or something like that. So so yeah, man, I encourage all y'all, man, be an asset to your community and talk about it, man, because because the same people you're going to influence about, why people buy all these chains and these Lamborghinis and Rolls Royce? And I was a victim of that. I had the Rolls Royce, I had the Bentley, I had the chains, I had that because you know what? I saw other black men do it. That's why. And guess what? If we see black men and black fathers serve their community and put their kids, show 10 pictures with their kids and one picture on a line of jewelry and cars, then what me as a black man gonna do? I'm gonna post 10 pictures. Hey, I'm a better father than you. As opposed to saying my chain got more diamonds than yours. The diamond is your kids. The diamond is your humanity. And it'll be beautiful to see black men, not just Floyd, but black men. I don't give a fuck what God you serve. I don't give a fuck who you having kids with, who you dating. I don't care. like you know what I mean? I really, really care about that little black 4-year-old, man. That little black 8. At the end of the day, that little black 4-year-old, no matter what ethnicity he is, because your son or daughter ain't just gonna be talking to black people or at Mexican people their whole entire life. They're gonna have to work their way through the entire civilization, So uh so there we go, man. And hopefully this video inspires somebody, inspires a fighter, man. Go serve your community, man. It's beautiful, man. I've seen so many people, serve their community, man. And I also seen so many people be detriments to their community as well. So I'll say this, man. My business partner told me this. When you buy that new car, when you buy that new Bentley, you get one conversation about your new car, and that's it. But when you serve your community, when you're an asset to a human being, you get one conversation with that person but that conversation will never ever die because it goes to the next person, to the next person, to the next person. And there you have it, man. Serve your community, y'all. Serve your community. Be an asset. Make your money. Yeah, I'm a man. Fuck those beautiful women. I'm with it. I'm all for it. Buy the most beautiful cars. I'm with all of that. All of that. You got to understand this. But the image that you portray, what you value in life, is what basically what you post. For real, for real. And you know, how many choker chains can you put on at once? Was it? Hey, what's the choker chain limit? How many choker chains can you put on at one time, dog? Shout out to all my boxers that got the choker chain, man. Ain't nothing wrong with it, man. It's just funny to see, you know what I mean, a man wear a chain that's tighter than a woman's pearls. You know what I mean? That's all. Barbershop conversation, man. I love all y'all at the end of the day. Um, I appreciate y'all, whoever got to the end of this video, man. I was pretty long-winded on this one because it means a lot to me serving your community, man. It's the holiday season coming up, man. And I know some of y'all, maybe Muslim, Christian, atheist, agnostic, Buddhist. It's always a great time to give a turkey to someone who needs it. It's always a great time to buy a pair of socks to someone who needs it. You know what I mean? And yeah, man. Lincoln and I do something special. I'm gonna tell y'all this. We've been doing this for about all year. We've been doing this all year. This is November. We've been doing this for all year. I'll have Lincoln tell this story. That way it comes off more authentic. Lincoln, come here. And this is why it's important to serve your community. Still in his pajamas, y'all. It's Sunday morning. Tell the people, talking to the mic right here. Turn around. Tell the people every day after school, what do you do? You do your homework, but before we get home, what do you do?
Give food to people.
Say it again.
Give food to people.
You give food every day. We give a meal every day. Tell people every day we give them. Every day, Lincoln gives a meal to someone who needs it. Right. Every day after school, we do that. We serve the community every single day, and it's not something I brag about. I don't post it in my stories. It's not. But I'm telling you this because it attaches to the story and it reminded me. I don't. But I should lead by example, right? But I don't want to post no homeless man on video that don't want the world to know he's homeless. Maybe he's running away from something, you know. But at the end of the day, we do that every day after school. We give a meal to someone who needs it, and I pick Lincoln up every day at 2:30, and we look forward to it every day, and it's just something I believe in, man. And let's keep on fighting for us, man. At the end of the day, man, and we won't need the white man if we believe in us. Barbershop Conversations, man. 9 Wives is an extraordinary film. Click the link below. Watch it, enjoy it, and share it, man. When you watch it, share it and tell a friend to watch it. Barbershop Conversation. Woo, this was a cathartic video for me. Man, it kind of took a lot out of me. My eyes went doo-doo-doo. Whole video. Barbershop Conversations. Feel free, hit the subscribe button. And I'll talk to you guys soon. Peace, guys.